But it brings us to the 52-year-old return and the comeback of Kevin Levrone. Now, all of you guys heard me say back in May, when Kevin made his announcement that he was coming back to the Mr. Olympia, and people asked me my opinion, and I spoke it. And I stayed true to my opinion, and I didn't back off. I said, listen, Kevin can do what he wants with his life. It's his dream, it's his goal, it's whatever. But you're asking me what would I do in his position. And I gave reasons about the quality of life, the fear of getting injured, my health being the number one priority, the monetary sacrifice to do that, knowing I have kids, knowing that Kevin has a kid at home, the business that he's trying to run. It's a dangerous game. I liken the process to him walking in the shadow of the late Don Youngblood, who won the Masters Mr. Olympia in 2001, got dead last in 2002, and was dead by 2005. And I think he's dead because of his pursuit of bodybuilding. And I put Kevin Levrone into that category about the what ifs, the possibility, worst case scenario. He's living his dream. He's going after his dream, and something happens to my friend. So I spoke from the heart in terms of precaution. There was nothing to be gained. Come back and guest pose. Create a video montage. Open the show. Show people what they can do with your physique if you just get up off the couch. But you're not going to beat Phil Heath. You're not going to beat Big Ramy. There's no way you're going to beat Justin Compton. You can't stand next to Dexter. And I told him all of the things that he couldn't do, and we never talked again. As a matter of fact, we talked once. We talked in June. He thought I was one of the voices of evil, the negative influences. He wanted positivity, and I respectfully stayed away. I backed off. I said my piece, and I left the kid alone. And I watched him transform. But I was watching him from October. And I've heard this dream for the last 5 years of Kevin wanting to get back on that stage. What I didn't buy into was the idea that he could beat the guys that never took their foot off the pedal. Dexter Jackson said it was a joke. Phil, he said that the guy's crazy. Why? Because those guys never stopped. And I understood that, because I know how hard it is. But Kevin transformed his body. He looked very respectable for a 52-year-old guy. We only saw upper body pictures along the way, a couple of half reps on the leg press, but I knew he was injured going in, and he got injured on the way out. He revealed later on to his showing that he had torn his pec, the left pec, which was the one he tore, I believe, back in 1994, pursuing the title. He also re-injured his left leg, which was considerably small and slender by comparison to the right leg. They were both very small, and that was an injury that was going to either reoccur or never went away, and we saw that he was in a hospital doing that. What I didn't want to see was that. I didn't want to see Kevin come in there and get injured. I didn't want to see people badmouth Kevin when it was all said and done. I didn't like that they were trying to compare him to a guy that was 15 years younger than him. We knew that he was going to be the grandfather going in, but what sucks about being a friend of someone is that you have inside information of things about them and their life that the fans don't. The fans were looking at pictures from 92, 94, and they were expecting that person to show up. They didn't realize that as you grow older with someone, you're privy to information that they are not. That there's, you have a family, you have financial hardships, you have obligations, you have priorities, you have commitments outside of the realm of pursuing this title. And while it left Kevin sleepless at night, the soreness, the aches and the pains, the only things that he revealed to us after the fact were that, yes, he tore his pec, doing 405 pounds. What 52-year-old bodybuilder out there should be even messing with that kind of weight? It's an accident waiting to happen. The knee injury that he suffered was not something that was new. It was something that was old and lingering and just re-injured again. So for that reason, on the way out of the Mr. Olympia, watching one of the greatest, Ronnie Coleman, 8 times with he had a walker and he was hobbling and he was about 2 inches shorter than he was, and he was sweating profusely, working his way out of the Mr. Olympia contest. I couldn't help but think that that's the result of the hard work and sacrifice he gave to the world. I'm hoping that Kevin recovers from his injuries. I'm hoping that these are not injuries that continue to manifest themselves. I'm hoping that Kevin does not try to pursue what the fans keep feeding him, that you can do it, come back. You need one more year of training. One more year of training is not going to make Kevin a better bodybuilder on the Olympia stage. What we saw was a shadow of a legend that gave us glimpses of the past. And that was enough for me. We saw that with Sergio Oliva back in 1984 and 85. And it was just enough. Kevin, hats off to you. I said in May that when I got done giving my opinion that one of two things are going to happen. Kevin's going to respect my opinion, or we're no longer going to be friends. That's up to him. I was cheering him on from my seat in the audience. I wished him well going into the show. I have nothing but prayers of joy and happiness for him coming off of the show. Let the chips fall where they may. My opinion never wavered. My thought process going into this show for Kevin was consistent. And here in reflection, the standout star of the weekend was Kevin Levrone, because he brought back memories that were faded, that were dark and shadowy. And when he got up there and he started doing those things, he moved a little bit slower. He was very cautious. He looked a little bit out of place. It was tough watching him not get the call outs. But it was awesome that they gave him and afforded him that special invitation, because without that special invitation, Kevin would not have even been able to pose on that stage Saturday night. The world would have never got to see him posing to Creed. And the new generation would have never got to share the stage with a living legend. So Kevin won on so many levels. I'm just hoping that he has a speedy recovery, that he continues to inspire and motivate, and that he stays away from the competitive bodybuilding stage. And if he chooses to guest pose around the world to show people glimpses of his greatness, hats off to him. Do what you love. Enjoy the rest of your life. Now go home, hug your son Gabriel, inspire, motivate, stimulate, and continue giving back and being the Maryland Muscle Machine. Thank you for the memories, and thank you for the years of the friendships and all the work and collaboration that we did. I don't have any high expectations for staying true to who I am, and I'm always going to be here, because when all of those fans turned on you and said, wow, look at how crappy you look, look at how small the legs are, blah, blah, blah. It's all over social media. Just as many, if not more people, embraced what you brought to the stage and being a part of that journey. And I was one of them. I'm going to continue being one of them. And you know my phone number. And no, we didn't speak over the weekend. I did text Kevin after prejudging. I did do a video for Kevin before the competition, wishing him well. If I never hear from Kevin again, he knows that I've always had his back. I've always been a brother from another mother. I'll continue to speak highly of Kevin and wish him well. But with that being said, the door's open, and if you never open it again, I have those memories of you and I growing up on that bodybuilding stage and growing old together in the industry of bodybuilding. I haven't changed. I'm still the same person. I keep it 100, and you need to really be able to focus on making yourself happy, Kevin. If you fulfilled all of your goals over the weekend at the Mr. Olympia, then you're a winner in my book, and you'll always be a homie and a big brother from another mother.